dive into my friend Mort Beazy over here and talk about him growing up in East Boston.
Yeah, so what's going on? It's Mort Beazy, MORT_BEAZY on all platforms. The YouTube's at MARCBROWN7502. Tap in, subscribe, share, man. Big shout out to John. Y'all know what the fuck's going on. Hard Times Podcast. Been a while since we been chopping up for a few months trying to make this thing happen. And here we are. I'm from Eastie, as you know. I'm like the face of Eastie, the soul of Eastie. Like I'm like a part of my heart and soul pumps. My veins pump the concrete in that city, legit. Like, and I've been growing up out there my whole life. And one thing about East Boston, I feel like now it's probably more accepted, but it wasn't always accepted in the street world of Boston, like the underground world and street world and gang world, and you know, like everybody always considers Boston like, you know, Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan, you know what I mean? And even sometimes the South End, even Charlestown, you know what I mean? Like certain people wouldn't consider Charlestown a part of Boston, but now we on the map, you know what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to get there because I had to fight for certain things like saying on dogs, you know what I mean? Going to the jails or going to DYS and being the only kid from East Boston. You know what I mean? And really having to put the city on my back. So even now, I'm still doing that. You know what I mean? But growing up out there ain't easy. You know, we dealt with a lot of growing up. I dealt with a lot of gangs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of violence. MS-13, 18th Street, Bloods, Crips, TRGs. Every gang you could think of. It's like a little mini Cali. Probably like a little bit like Lynn, but just more off the, you know, on the coast of the city of Boston. And like I said, a lot of people would consider it the outskirts. Growing up for me was more or less like what I dealt with in my household. I never brought the streets into my household. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, my mom, you know, made us all sit at the table and, you know, say grace before we ate dinner. You know what I mean? But once my dad went to the can when I was about 7 years old, Mom's word don't hold weight no more, you know what I mean? So that's like kind of like between that time, between the ages of like 7 and 11 is when I jumped in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Jumped off the porch. You know what I mean? Eastie, I say as a whole, like now it's more like Central Americans out there, but like growing up it was more Italian and black, like I spoke to, about.
When do you think that movement kind of started?
Early 2000s, like what Central Americans coming over. Once they made Eastie a safe haven for immigrants, that's when it really that's when they started pouring in. Because it's right off the coast. That's where they're literally coming off the boat off.
Into Chelsea and East Boston. Yeah. But everything you just said, is a lot of people aren't hip to that, especially the part with you having to deal with being who you are and going to institutions and carrying yourself the way you do, because I know how you carry yourself, and being from Eastie and having to hold your own with everybody else that's from Dorchester, Mattapan, and Roxbury, and I know you definitely held your own as well as anybody else from Boston. So that's definitely something to chew on, and I know that definitely probably wasn't easy.
Nah, hell no, bro. It's like your back's always against the wall when you're the only kid there. It paid off later in life because a lot of dudes, like this brother sitting next to me, seen that, noticed that, and you know, they acknowledge it, and you literally earn your respect, because it's pretty much more respect that I feel like a man standing on his own too, instead of hiding behind a gang like a lot of dudes do nowadays.
A bunch of people behind you.
Right, because I don't even see these dudes outside unless they're with 20 people. Like, we came over here today by ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of dudes, even at my age right now, want to hang with 20, 30 dudes, and they wonder why they're getting RICO'd, why they're getting snatched up, why they're like, hey, I don't even sell drugs or bust guns, but you're sitting in jail for 100 years for some shit someone else did. That's why I run by myself,
and
bro.
then nobody's there but the family.
Right.
When you're looking for canteen and making phone calls, and that's how it always is.
And
it's important that what we're doing, the things we're doing with our lives, is on our own too. No collaboration. We're doing everything by ourselves, maybe with a little help, but everything is on our own 2 feet.
Right.
And you can't really rely on anybody, because when you do, you're gonna notice that people are gonna let you down.
Word. They always do, kid. You know what I mean? Like when I got out from my time, only people that was there was the same people I left there. My kids, my girl, my mom, my brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Everybody else disappeared. Now that we're blowing up and we're making noise, they're hitting us up. You know, they're in the DM. Hey, what's going on, Mizz? Da-da-da. Remember me? And it's like, yeah, I didn't forget about you, but you forgot about me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you remember me because we lit. You know what I mean?
When you're going through those struggles, I listened to, and I mentioned it to you last night about hearing Exit Fame on 94.5 last night.
Big shout out to Exit Fame.
Yeah, big shout out to Exit Fame. That was big.
I got a song with him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know, I seen
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I seen that. I catch everything.
Yeah.
But I was listening to him, and I always do, because he's a sharp dude, and he was talking about the struggles, and anybody that succeeds, there's going to be struggles, there's going to be letdowns, probably more letdowns than successes, but you have to be somebody that is going to acknowledge that, and who's going to be there when you're going through those hard times.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's you, and it's most likely going to be a family. There's a couple friends. There's a lot. I have a lot of supporters. I cannot say that I don't. You know, but through the very beginning, there was only a few people that were there when I was putting out those car videos and all that. And you know, as things get hopefully bigger and progress, and I know that
As they are.
everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing with any success. There's so many failures along the way, and everybody, you know, conveniently shows up when you hit it big.
You don't feel like it's easier now to really get your stuff out there now, like with today's generation, like today's day and age with the, like social media and basically being able to get in touch with anyone in the world?
Once you figure it out, but here's the thing: what I realize is a lot of people I know don't understand the algorithm.
Right.
They don't understand. So many people have told me, and it's frustrating, but I can't fault them. It's not their fault. Have told me that they've been watching my podcast, been telling me on Facebook, hey, I've seen everybody I run into is watching the podcast, but I don't see them in engaging because they don't know. They're just telling me on Facebook, and I'm trying to explain to them that if they engage on YouTube, it's I'm monetized now. That's what I really need, because I'm doing this as a job. This is my job. It's my occupation.
Right.
I'm a content creator. That's why I put so much time and effort into it. I put so much time and effort into it. The only people that really understand that is my family. It's to the point where it creates relationship problems because I put too much time into it. So the people don't get that when I drive them crazy about, hey, did you see my episode? If you did, like and comment on it.
Like, comment, share.
All
Simple.
that, because people don't understand the algorithm, that I need that, and that's how I get more views. And what I'm really trying to do is push the content to different people, because once that happens, those are the people that watch the similar type of content and will engage because they understand the algorithm. And that's what I'm trying to do. Everybody in Boston is seeing Hard Time Real Talk, but I want everybody in Massachusetts to see it. I want everybody in New England to see it.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the only way to do it, and that's why I drive people crazy. You know what I mean? Because I'm putting all this work in, and that's part of putting in the work.
Another part of putting the work, like you just mentioned, is not only the like, comment, and the share, but when you see people out on the street, you know, tipping your hat as well. I see a lot of people out here that know me from my music or know me from being on podcasts like this one right here. You know, I like the feedback, I like the criticism, I like to know, hey, your posture wasn't right on this. Hey, you should wear this, or maybe these colors shouldn't contract with this. Help help us get better
Yeah.
at what we're doing, because I like the constructive criticism. And I don't look at it like hate. Like, if something wasn't right, I might have been a little off that day, let me know. You know what I mean? Like, let me know what I'm doing wrong so I can get it right. Because like he said, this rap shit, this is my career. This is it. This is my job. This is what I do. You know what I mean? When my family's at home sleeping at night, I'm outside. I'm like a vampire, bro. I don't sleep. Like, I really eat, sleep, and breathe this. You know, as of late, I've had to set a lot of things off because my health hasn't been at 100%, but I'm getting better. And you know, even though I'm not 100% of my physical health, I'm still limping my ass to wherever I need to go to get this shit done.
Right.
Like, literally. Like the other night, I was laid down on the floor in the studio. My sciatic was messing up.
Oh, yeah.
Cause I'm getting older, y'all. I'm like, yeah, bring me the mic. I'm on the floor.
I got the same. issue.
Yeah,
It's
like
painful.
I'm on the floor recording. Like that music you hear, some of those songs, I'm on the floor recording it because my nerves are
That's
fucked
what's
up.
up.
You know what I mean?
It ain't gonna
So-
get done if you don't do it.
Right, that's how hard I'm willing to go for this. I'm literally willing to die for this, and it does mess up relationships.
Yeah.
It does mess up relationships because it's almost like
You get obsessed with it.
yes,
Yeah.
and you become like, I became more like codependent in a way because of it as well. You know, shout out to my girl because she been holding me down, like, and it's not easy being with a dude like me, and I know that.
Right,
You know what I
fact.
mean? It's really not easy.
Fact.
If you're with me, you gotta have a lot of
I
patience.
concur with
You know
that.
what I mean? Especially doing all that time.
I'm not easy neither.
Yeah, like we got problems, man. Like that institutionalized is not just something you say to everyone that's been in jail. You see the little glitches in the matrix that happen. Like, you know what I mean? When I got out from my time, dude, I was still shining with my shirt on and my shower shoes. Like legit. There's certain habits that, you know, you can't break. I'm still up every morning, you know, before the doors crack. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, hey, why you like this and why you like that? People know when to call me.
I've seen
You know what I
people.
mean?
I've seen people comment and tell people get over it, and it's like I watched a guy go back.
Go through it.
Right. Go
Like-
back. A guy I know went back to Walpole. And he took a picture of himself giving a finger to Cedar Junction, and someone commented to him saying, "Get over it." And this guy I know got poked up in Walpole. He had a rough bit, and he brought it on himself. But still, same thing. You can't. How can you tell someone to get over something that won't get over you?
That's trauma.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
you can't get over something that won't let go of you.
Right.
I've been out almost 7 years, and I still have the worst night terrors you could possibly imagine, and PTSD from just doing bids that aren't. Guys, in me and Maddie, on episode 3, spoke about 2 different types of bids you can do.
Right.
You can do a nice North Fork minimum bid, or
Right.
you can do bids how we
DDU.
do them.
Yep.
And I never did a bid like the first way I explained it.
Right.
I did them hard. I did 11, 12 years in
That's why
maximum
this is the
security
Hard
prison.
Times podcast. And
So
shit.
right. So when
Right.
so when you're always on point, and we're always in a place where it was like a battlefield, you were always at battle with the cops or somebody. That takes a toll on your psyche, man.
Right.
And you can't just get over something that won't, like I said, won't get over you.
Right.
Like it's stuck there. You know what I mean? You
Right.
could talk about it with a therapist all you want, and if it's still there, it's still there. You know?
You
You'd
know-
like to say, oh, I don't want this to affect me no more, but you don't have any control over that.
You know what's one of the I don't want to call it a night terror, but something that triggers my trauma from doing time. I don't think I ever shared this with a podcast, so I'm gonna share it on the Hard Times
Beautiful.
Real Talk podcast because
It's hard
this shit's
times,
about
it's
hard
real
time.
talk.
I did 5 years in the hole, bro. Like this shit's for real. DDU ain't no fun place. You know what I'm saying? It's just not for kids. But one thing that always triggers my trauma is hearing keys shaking.
Yeah.
I don't know what it
Yeah,
is
that-
about that, man. The
it's
keys
because-
shaking, it just bothers
It's
me, bro.
because you,
Yeah.
you heard them for so long, sleeping, sitting there, when you were laying in bed. That's what you heard every round, was keys.
Every half hour,
Keys.
it's keys.
You would
shaking.
ask them to hold the keys. That's something we would do in Walpole, and some cops would oblige, but some wouldn't. They would purposely,
They would run with the keys
you know,
shaking.
just jingle their keys,
Right.
just to be pricks. You know
Even
what
the
I mean?
raids at like 4 in the morning when they're kicking your door in and you're already in jail.
That was what
and-
really
Yeah.
fucked me up, and
Yes.
why Because I got ran in on, you were never on the block with me, but we were in the hole together. I got lugged over 25 times from getting ran in on by Ip so many times because of people telling on me. I got ran in on so many times that I became so paranoid.
Right.
And that began to fuck with me. I had to keep my door pegged at all times.
Right.
Every day I was worried about it because it happened so often. You know what I mean? First thing in the morning, before rec, Ip's on the block.
4 in the morning.
There would be literally a 90% chance.
They're coming to your
Ip's on the block, they were coming to my cell.
Yeah.
Because I always had
I handled some shit, right?
I always had, I lugged my whole bit.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So, and one day I grabbed he wasn't the head Ip, but he was the Ip that handled all the investigation shit because people would go and tell him, Shepard.
Oh,
and I said, Shepard, what, like, come on, man, like, give me a break. This is crazy. You're just gonna have to let me out of the hole
Shep?
in 10 days again. And he's like, well, we get the information, we have to act on it. Tell your friends to stop telling them. Do you know what I mean?
They ain't your friends.
Right. And this was guys close to me that I was.
And it's crazy because you don't want to believe a cop, right?
He wasn't fucking lying.
Right.
He wasn't lying.
Part,
This
right.
wasn't a guy that made things up.
He didn't have time to lie. I remember Shepard.
There are cops that you can't believe, and there are cops that he wasn't lying. It's not like he gave me a name, and I believed him. I 100% believed him.
Because how else would they know?
Right. As more things happened, it became evident that it was certain people, and more things happened, and shady things happened, and people that were with me know. And it is what it is. The guys know who they are. And
they know what they did.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sully knows what happened.
Shout out to Sully. Yeah.
Sully, my guy, fucking Richie Gardner suck at Sully.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was
yeah,
crazy.
I remember that. Yeah.
Then we started looking at some things and we're like, whoa, shit. We let so many things occur that it just was way too funny. And that was the icing on the cake. We suck at Sully for no reason.
Yeah, he had to get up out of Dodge.
Fact. And then we found out he owed everybody.
Oh, remember those days when people leave the block? That's why gangbanging,
He
man,
was a
it got
guy
its
that
ups
you
and
would
downs.
never think. The guy was tough as nails. He was one of us. And it was just like, what the fuck? But some guys just don't want to get taken off their meds. They don't, whatever it is. Some guys break, and it's like, I won't break over nothing. And I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Right.
I never did it. I went to the hole all those times. It didn't matter how many times they lugged me.
Right.
I would have kept getting lugged fucking every 2 weeks. For
Remember how pissed
forever.
the Ips used to be at us? They'd come, they'd be like, oh, you guys got the fellas all riled up, coming asking questions. When I first went upstate, kid, I didn't even know what was going on. Like, you gotta go in there and talk to them. Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
In Walpole, we would just fucking refuse.
Tell them to beat
and
it,
take
right.
the 3-day, AA.
Yeah.
But, so, look, I want to talk about, if you don't mind, it's up to you.
No, it's okay.
You know, I know you were a king, you were Latin king. You were definitely high up there.
Yep.
A few things occurred. I know they definitely were getting things popping up there.
Yeah, we had it going. We had the fellas riled up there for many years.
And there was a split, I remember.
Yep. With the Boston, between Boston and Springfield. Yeah, I was frontlining that, and it was more or less that started because, like, as far as, you know, not to put too many nation affairs out there because I don't deal with that realm no more. But we'll leave the names out and the sections out to protect the innocent. But what I will say is that R.I.P. my man A Nice, we was the front line of that, and it was more or less because as Boston brothers, we felt like a lot of the Springfield dudes felt like they were more superior to us, and they weren't. Their ideologies, I hate to say it, was a bunch of fiend shit. And a lot of the times it was, this guy's the head guy, and he's a crackhead. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so this guy's the head guy, and he's a fucking crackhead, or he's strung out on, I don't know, Suboxone or smoking K2 or having Eps and getting carted off the block. It's like, how am I supposed to listen to this guy that as soon as he gets lugged, there's 10 people on the block coming to my door like, yo, what happened with your boy? He owes me this, this, and that, and I gotta pay it. Like, nah, bro. And that was happening until and it wasn't just the Springfield dudes that were doing that, but you know, it was other brothers too. But it was a majority of just the power struggle in a sense of these dudes thought they were illa, you know, and they thought that because that's where it birthed. And when it came down from Chicago to Connecticut, the first place it landed in Massachusetts for the nation was Springfield. And you know, I respect that, but it doesn't make you more superior than me. I'm a man, I stand up to piss and I bleed just like you, so we stood on business and we started taking them motherfuckers out. You know what I mean? And anybody who, and John will tell you, like anybody who stood in the way got blown up, police, and it went back and forth. They got their money back too. You know, it went both ways. And what I learned from that is you're stronger together. If you come together and unify, they said a divided kingdom is a weak kingdom. So if you come together and set all differences aside and say, hey, we all represent the same thing, you could be stronger. Just go at the administration. So once we started going at the administration, what they do, they switched the whole max, they fucking beat us up, you know what I mean? And shout out to anybody who in that lawsuit, you got a couple days left before this month's over, go sign up now. You know what I'm saying? Go sign up now for that lawsuit if you was there. And between the months of January 10th, 2020 and any time after, if you was there, you entitled to some money. You know what I'm saying?
Did they say how much? That's just my luck.
They said $6 million.
I spent all
$6
that
million,
time there, so
$6 million payout.
That up between however many people.
Yep. And the numbers were real low at the time, so there wasn't a lot of people there. So that's a lot of money to divvy up. You know what I mean? They said something between, like, for starters, like 30 to 50 grand.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Be nice.
You know what I mean?
That'd definitely be nice.
But yeah, that started in like 2016.
Yeah, that was right after I left. But
2017.
I feel like before I left, there was some shit. There was definitely some shit going on.
Yeah, there was some shit brewing.
Yeah. But
it took a lot to get there, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Because the Latin Kings don't fight against each other.
Nobody wants that.
That was one gang that the Bloods were always fighting with each other. The Crips were always fighting with each other. The white dudes were always fighting with each other. Black dudes, everybody was always beefing with each other. One thing I give the white dudes though, there's two things I always give the white dudes. That's why I fuck with my white guys. Before I get to the wreck.
Yeah.
Is if there's a skinner or a rat come on the block and he's white, they take their trash out, but they're not living. That's just what it is. Number two is if it's time to go with the police, we'll set all this race and gang shit aside and we all ride together. Shield wall. I didn't understand what a shield wall was until I went at it with the team and all the white dudes came and was like, yo, we with you. You know what I'm saying? Because even some of my own cupped up and the white dudes didn't. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Jackie Graham because he was one of them.
Yeah, he rides.
You know what I mean? There's a few riders. R.I.P. Frankie. I know Frankie died. He was another one. Brett. Man. Brandon Kane. Big shout out to Brandon Kane. He was another one.
The kid Brett passed away?
The kid Brett. No, I don't think Brett passed away. No, kid from Brockton. Yeah, Boyle kid. Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, I hope
not. I don't know.
Let's not. I hope, Brett. I hope you're watching this, kid. Big shout out to you.
But dudes are watching.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you one thing. Since we're speaking on that, like if people think like if you're a blood, you're a blood. Like, dude. There was not one set that can get along. Them dudes could not even be around each other. They had each like set on a different block, and you had to separate every single set.
That's a fact. They even had Bloods on the green side at one point.
Yeah, and G2.
Yeah.
Because them dudes just could not get along. Each set had beef with each other, and it was just
a lot of chiefs. Too many chiefs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man. So many you got to speak to this guy, that guy, and so many opinions about what's going on. The politics get crazy with that shit. You know what I mean? It's almost like the feds, kid, the way they politic with
especially
that shit.
When you wouldn't know what was going on. You see dudes that were like cool with each other, and then 5 minutes later
they're fucking stabbing each other.
They'd be getting laid out.
Right.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Right.
But my thing is, right, and this is how like I was, like if you were from Boston, we were cool. You know what I mean? Like I used to eat almost every night with just dudes from Boston.
Word.
It didn't matter what color you were.
Word.
OG, shout out to OG.
Big shout out to OG.
If you out, Larry Green, my guy. I hope you out there doing good. That was my guy. We ate together every night. And a couple other dudes from that hood.
R.I.P. Garvey, man.
Yep, that's my guy.
That was my guy.
That was my. He died about
Free Stiz too, free Stephen Woodard.
Yep. Is he
Woodard.
still locked up?
Yeah.
Gavi died the same week as my sister.
That's crazy.
It was that and another really good friend of mine, Kid Murph. He was another boy.
Murph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both
Little
died.
Murph?
Yeah, Little Murph.
Oh shit, I remember Murph.
Within 2 weeks,
Yeah,
it was
Murph, I didn't
it
even
was
know
like
Murph
a
died.
12-day period. Murph, Gavi, and my sister.
They
passed.
say death comes in threes for
Yep.
real.
And that just happened again. Three women from Charlestown that I was individually friends with and knew very well all just passed.
The
and-
Shannon you were talking about earlier, she's not one of them, right?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
she was just on here. And,
Oh, okay.
she's a,
Oh, she was on
she's
here.
a godsend.
Shout out to Shannon.
She always.
Yeah.
She takes care of this community. She runs a non-profit that helps with the funeral fees
Oh,
for
okay, right.
families
Oh, that's what's up,
when that
right.
happens. So
Right, right.
yeah, so my niece and my sister died.
Oh, Jesus.
She helped with both of those.
Yeah. God
So-
bless you, Shannon.
Yeah, she's a fucking angel,
Good kid.
a living angel. So this is what I like to talk about on my podcast. I like to get into the real shit, right? Because that's what this is. But we also like to talk about what people are doing now, the successes that people are having now. And my man over here, right? He's grinding and he's succeeding right now in life. And I love to see what he's doing.
Appreciate that.
I share everything I see, and let's talk about what you're doing right now. Tell the people what you're up to, what you've been able to do since you started in the rap
So
game.
I got out 2021 September 1st. My first year out, I started like basically a vlog, and I just jumped on the phone, got on YouTube, and just started right there. The same day I got out, and been moving ever since. But I
Was
didn't
you
really.
rapping? Let me just ask you, was you rapping in the joke writing?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
absolutely, yeah. I've been always into music my whole
Mhm.
life, but I didn't really start going hard with it until I got out and seen how the game is now. You know, now you can put the music out. Before
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
it was hard to get on
Mhm.
before. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah. Social
Yeah.
media and all this stuff has definitely made
It helped guys like me. I took
Easier.
advantage of this. It made it a lot easier for guys like me. But I started rapping in 2021 when I started my vlog. My vlog pretty much died out. I post here and there. Got a little too racy, you know, got a little too controversial, so I shut it down. But I took off with the music from there, and that's pretty much like the highlight of it. Then I went back to jail for a little bit, and then I got on this platform called the Jetpack. Once I got on that platform, I pretty much took off from there, and I've been grinding ever since. If you name any rapper out in Boston, 9 times out of 10, I got music with them.
Mhm.
I just dropped a tape called The Marksman. Big shout out to Author Supreeme. I just big shout out to Exit Fame. You talking about him earlier? I just did a track with him.
I see a lot of the shit with
Yeah.
with Author.
Yep. I just did a big song with Millyz. I just shot a music
Mhm.
video with him.
Seen
Big
that
shout out to
too.
Millyz.
That's what's up.
That's about to
what's
drop
up
soon.
Right there. I gotta see that.
I just did a song with 8-Zip. Big shout out to 8-Zip. I got pretty much everybody who's popping in Boston is pretty much like on my radar. Either if I don't already got songs with them, then I'm on my way to having songs with them. And you know, that's been my thing, is just collaborating and really getting with who's hot, because I'm hot.
Yeah.
And right now I feel like everybody says the music game's sold up. Not in Boston. We're creating our own wave with it, because it's like we're coming together as, like, in New York it's easier, I feel like, for dudes to get on. It's always somebody who knows somebody, because it's like the motherland of hip hop.
Yeah.
But in Boston it's so like, you know, nowadays, like, my hood's gentrified now. It's a lot different. Like, there's some venues in Mass you can't even play rap music. Like, even in Rhode Island, like Mangoes, they won't even let us do hip hop shows no more. You know what I mean? We done put so much stain on them. But you know, I've been on a big podcast run. This is probably like my 10th or 11th podcast this year.
I love doing it.
Yeah, every day I'm just doing something with music. I'm recording music every day. Like, I'm singing now. I got R&B songs. I got techno songs. I got reggae songs. I got all kinds of different music now. And I'm trying to hit the mainstream a little more, and shy away from the gangster shit a little less, because you know what? Ain't nothing in that shit no more, bro. The streets are dead, bro. You know what I mean? Like, look at Young Thug.
That's the word. That's the word.
Yeah, look at Young Thug, bro. Look what happened with all that. Big Meech. Look at all these dudes, bro. You know, they're coming home, and it's like, people are finding out their rats, and it's like, I'm all set, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I give it up for dudes like Hood Boss and dudes like Trev and them dudes, because they stood on business, like, you know what I mean? And then watch, when Hood Boss comes home, he's gonna be in the music. I'm gonna definitely have a song with him too. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dudes in Boston that need to get the light shine back on them. You know what I mean? Like the head spinners, like my man Salam, you know what I'm saying? My man Reg. There's a few dudes that I've been working with that they've been doing this music, but they haven't had a chance to really get a platform to notice them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it don't matter how old you are, because there's dudes that are older than me. They're always like, oh, you're getting old, you're getting old. And it's like, that's a sign of hate. You know what I'm saying? I got a show coming up too on the 27th, next Saturday at Mama's in Lawrence. If y'all want to come through, man, you're more than welcome to come through. I don't know if this will be out by then. But
This will be out.
Yeah, if this is out, pay attention.
Tomorrow or
that's fire.
Sunday.
So the 27th on Saturday, we at Mama's. I got an ill sick lineup. It's on the internet. You know, just pop out. You know what I'm saying? Really show some love, man. See me live. I always got shows every week. I'm always outside, bro. I'm not one of these internet dudes. Like, I'll really pull up on you. I got merch. You know what I'm saying? I got all kind of shit going on, bro.
Is this the merch?
Oh, no. This is 18 Apparel.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one of the people who's in my merch store.
Oh, I seen them. The Breezy 617.
No, that's Sleep Tight. That's my brand. But the 18 Apparel is my man Tony. He's in.
No, I'm saying the Breezy 617.
Yeah, that's for me. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, Breezy 617.
Breezy 617. Check that out.
Yeah, big shout out to Aunt Breezy, man. That's my boy. He's from the hood. Big shout out to HR Films. Big shout out to Roman Visuals. We got a banger come. Oh, we got a banger come.
What you got?
It's an R&B album.
What you got? All right.
It's called R&Beazy, man. It's me and my man Nesto. I mean, Roman and Beazy. I know what's going on. I got so much stuff happening that it's like I can't even tell you everything, bro. And you know what? What I want y'all to know about this is that I don't have a manager. I don't have a management team behind me. A lot of people think I do. I have a little bit of PR, but not really. Not like I used to. I used to have more PR than I did. Yeah.
That'll help you.
Yeah. I just merged all my channels. I got my music node. I'm being monetized on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook. I'm making money. Like, I've been doing all that. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say I don't need management, but sometimes it's better to have management because I can't even remember half the shit I got going on.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't even know how you remember it all.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
I got a lot going on.
But you've all heard it. There's a lot of people that have been watching.
Yeah.
Shannon's episode got 3K and still moving. And that was just the 5th episode.
Big shout out to Jason Tremmons
too. The 4th
too.
episode. Jay Tremmons.
Yeah, big shout out to Jay Tremmons. Big shout out to Buckingham.
He'll be watching. We're supposed to do something together, Jay. I'm still waiting. I want to do something.
And I wanted to say this too, man. Like, especially for dudes like Tremmons, man. Like, you know, people dealing with addiction and in recovery. I don't know if you touch too much base on that. But,
yeah, that's
a big thing.
The main focus on
this. I don't want to put. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the names out, but there's a few people that I know that deal with that. I deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't really actually admitted it. Like the first step is admitting it. I haven't actually admitted it till just recently that I understood that I have a problem with alcohol. So I haven't been drinking as much. Like I didn't drink today. I didn't drink yesterday. And I want to. I'm not gonna lie. I want to go right after this. I want to go get a nip and get my day started, as I would say. But I'm probably not gonna. And it's if I wasn't sitting right here next to this gentleman, I'd probably be drunk somewhere. And I'm tired of living like that. So if anybody who's dealing with those type of struggles or adversity, just know you're not alone in this shit. And even somebody like me, that I used to have too much pride to ever say I was a fiend or I was a geek or I was a drunk. But now I say it with dudes like Exit Fame, bro. Seeing him, bro, he gives me so much hope and motivation for having addiction. Not to say it's cool to just be an addict, but to want to recover and not be ashamed of it. That's who helped me with that. You know what I mean? So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Joe and Devin too, because they helped me out a lot with that too. Because it's easy to it's easy to throw the bottle back. It is. It's easy to throw the bottle back, but it's harder to talk about why you're doing it.
You know what I mean? So much easier to go do that and say I'll stop another day.
Right.
But when you recognize that it's an issue in your life and it's starting to cause problems, like you said, it's the first step.
Yes. First step is admitting.
Anything, I mean, when you do stupid shit on alcohol or it affects your family life, whatever it is, and that's your reason for stopping. There's functional addicts, functional alcoholics out there that work 5 days a week and do whatever, but then there's people that they put alcohol in them and they do stupid shit.
Next thing you know, they're a mess.
Right.
Right.
But all that shit that you're doing, it could all be ruined by making a bad decision and drinking and getting in a car and getting in an accident.
It's game
and the
over.
next thing you know, all that shit's wiped out the window. You know what I mean?
All for those
and
dudes who
you did
get
all that
drunk
work.
and all for those dudes who get drunk and fucking want to go pick a fight with the wrong guy.
Right, and
then you get
killed.
beat up. You know what I
Somebody
mean?
got a gun. You never know
you never
today.
know. Like nowadays, these kids ain't fighting.
You never fucking know
You know what I
where
mean?
you're gonna end up. You know, I get road rage. You can see it on my car videos. I get stupid with people all the time. I'm lucky. It's the reason I don't carry weapons or guns, because I'd use them.
Word.
You know what I mean? My anger. I wasn't. It's from years and years of, like I said, the school to prison pipeline, DYS, house of correction, state prison, but being in segregation all that time. It's just the anger that.
In and out of National Street, like,
Right.
let's talk about
you
it.
You end up becoming somebody else. It transforms you. It mentally just turns you into an angry person.
Right.
Had you went a different way in life,
That's
I
a
would
fact.
not be the angry person I am today.
Right.
But it is what it is. You have to deal with who you are and what you are, so you don't end up doing something stupid. So I honestly try to limit my interaction with people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Doing a lot of time in the hole and segregation really made me antisocial. Like, even when I got out the hole, right, after all those years, I didn't even want to talk to people in the unit. Like, all the gossiping, all the
You lock in.
Yeah, it's like they start calling you a weirdo, and you're like, no, I just know my boundaries, because I can't deal with the way people talk. Like, this age is so disrespectful. And like, I want to talk about respect real quick. Like, the only way to get respect is to give it. And a lot of the times in places like prison, it's not respected to be a gentleman. It's actually sometimes taken for granted, especially on the street. And even with the cops or whoever, like, sometimes saying, hey, excuse me, or not saying excuse me could be the end of your life. Bumping someone and walking by them and not saying excuse me and pardon self, you can get stabbed and killed in the place where we just came from. So to come out here to bump somebody, or somebody bump you and tell you to go fuck yourself after, and you have to eat it because you don't want to go back to the place where that shit matters, it's a lot to bite your tongue. So for the dudes who are struggling with that, me included, it's like, yo, I tip my hat to you that you're still out here, because it's hard, bro. These dudes are disrespectful out here, bro. You know what I mean? And, I've been struggling with that.
Of course.
I've been struggling with that.
Yeah, of course. You're not alone.
I've been struggling with that big time.
I go through it every day, and I'm with my kids, and I don't go anywhere really without my kids in life to kind of protect me.
Right.
And it still does that. As happy as my kids make me, I still go from 0 to 100 over something like that.
Yes.
The most respectful place I've ever been to my life was when I went to Walpole as a 23-year-old kid. The most respect by far.
That's crazy.
Everybody was so. That was when anybody.
And you went to Walpole the same year as me. I was 23.
Yeah, and anybody that came in was told by their elders from wherever they were from, this is what you do, this is how you act.
You look straight, you don't look in people's cells. That's the first thing I learned.
But everybody, you would find, anybody that you came into contact with said, excuse me. And it was like, wow. It gave you a sense of like, oh my God, this is like, it gave you a feeling of like, you know, a sense of, it's hard to explain, like, this is a very respectful place.
You almost felt bad for the dude who did it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't get it wrong, it was a very dangerous place. But each individual was very respectful of one another.
Yeah, it only got dangerous with disrespect.
Yes, yes.
Gangbanging on people owing money and disrespect. It's the biggest things that go wrong in prison, bro. But out here, bro, it's like they lost their sense of respect, man. And I just want to bring that back. You know, you can call it old school, you can call it whatever you want, but I want to bring respect back, bro. You know what I mean? Because respect is a big thing for guys like us, and it's hard. It's hard for me not to blow my fucking lid every time fucking somebody even raises their voice at me, bro. It's like, Jesus Christ, bro. It's like I'm over here talking like a gentleman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that humility is
see,
just...
I want to show you this post that I saved with this fucking idiot who has made millions off this platform, off of lies. This fucking idiot, Wes Watson. A guy approaches him. He's a guy who said he had the keys to every yacht he walked on, but
What, he was upstate?
he was in California.
Oh, okay.
But out
Like
of
San Quentin?
yeah, but out of his millions of followers, nobody has ever backed up that they were on a yacht that he had the keys to.
Oh, so he
But I
doesn't
got
have
800 subscribers, and I've got
all
50
800,
people
right.
that can back up every story I've said. Tell me how that is.
Right, right.
Do you know what I mean? So that tells you right there that it's bullshit.
He's capping.
Do you know what I mean? It's impossible to be involved in prison life and not have somebody that was there. So
And then to blow
anyways,
up on social media and nobody's vouching.
he's got a Bugatti, and the guy is like, hey man, how'd you get that shit fucking out? And he's like, yo, you don't know who the fuck I am, I'm the wrong one. And the guy's like, hey, I'm trying to talk to you respectfully, like, what the fuck? He's like, I'm fucking Wes Watson, like, the guy is such a fucking idiot.
Arrogant.
He is
motherfucker,
such, now that I've brought him up, you need to, like,
bro. I'm gonna go tap in.
you need to check him out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check him
The
out.
guy, Johnny Bott met him, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Johnny
Johnny
Bott, my
Bott,
boy,
great
man.
fucking guy.
You know, I seen him on New York Fashion Week last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's my boy. He's blowing up, man. He was on
Eastie.
the Jay Trimmins documentary with me, man. That's the older man from the hood, man. You know,
I've seen that.
he was the only one on there with me, man. We the only two to talk about from Eastie.
I was just on Bean Shooter last week.
Oh, shout out to Bean Shooter. I gotta get with Bean Shooter.
Yeah,
Gotta get with him.
them two together,
Yeah.
having a conversation with them two was just like you could talk all night. We
Right.
could have went all night, but it was 9:30.
What's the dude's name again? Wes what?
Wes Watson.
Wes Watson.
So Johnny meets him, right? They're at this content creator convention in Miami, I think it was. So somebody introduces Johnny to Wes. Hey, this is Johnny Bott. He just did 27 years. He had just got out, I think. And he's like, hey, you see that Bugatti out there? He's like, yeah. He's like, that's mine. He's like, all right, fucking.
What the fuck?
Do you know what I mean? Like, what a fucking idiot. The guy has no humility. Like, anybody who did that type of time in places like that is humble. Tough
Right.
guys are humble.
Right.
They don't talk about it. You know what I
Be
mean?
about
Wise
it,
guys
right.
don't talk about how tough they are, how many
Right.
people they killed.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I might have brought up stories of interactions I've had in the joint, but trust me, there's a lot of things I haven't brought up.
Right.
There's a lot of stories I haven't told. I just did that for entertainment reasons because people, it's how I had to get followers. But I made sure that there was people that were already following me that were there. You know what I mean? That can second, yeah, that happened.
Right.
But I'm not gloating about this and that. I have humility. You know what I mean? Like, I humbly say that was back at a time when I was a kid. You know what I mean? I do have anger issues still today, but I'm not the same person. I do have some restraint.
Right.
I know that I can't do those things today
Right.
because I don't want to go back to these places.
Right.
I have a family and I have decent things going on, but people still ask, well, you know, do some car stories, and it's like, no, the other things I have to talk about, I don't want to talk about.
Right. We're trying to keep it positive, man.
But
Yeah.
all right, so you heard we got everything that my boy Mizz got, right? So make sure you catch all that info.
Tap in.
If you want to give them your socials again, just
Yeah, it's on Instagram. It's at MORT_BEAZY, Mort Beazy. That's on all plats: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Snap, everything. And then it's the handle for the YouTube is app MarcBrown 7502. That's Mark Brown 7502. Tap in, man. I got a music page, and I got I'm on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, everything else. And my YouTube for my vlog is at Mort Beazy Network. The thing with that is you have to be 18 years old to subscribe. I don't want to see any young kids subscribing. I've been having parents calling me. Parents calling me. It's not for the kids. Put the kids to bed when you watch my vlog. Seriously. And big shout out to John, man, for real, for having me on here. Hard Times Podcast, real talk. Only the real motherfuckers coming up here. Only the real motherfuckers sitting on this bench. If you're a real motherfucker, pop out and give a real story, man. Because not only does he got the first and the second vouch, but he got the third vouch for validation of what he's saying is real shit. Because I was there, even though we wasn't on the same block. I was hearing through the vents, through the cracks of the doors. Like I was hearing about shit. You know what I'm saying? He was hearing about me, and now here we are. We was hearing about each other, now here we are. You know what I'm saying? So really tap in with
helping
us.
Me, and
seriously,
I appreciate it.
Word up. And it's positivity, man. You know what I'm saying? Positivity, bro. I mean, you don't gotta be a tough guy, bro. Be pride. Remember, pride is a 5-letter word. I'm gonna break it down real quick. PRIDE. Please remember, ignorance destroys everything. Hold on. Primary reason I die early. Pride. Set your fucking pride to this side. Take that chip off your shoulder. Set your egocentric ass over there and understand what humility is. Sometimes you're going to be faced with adversities, but that's when you learn who you are. It's a hard time. Adversity, the definition of that is a hard time. If you want to learn who you're dealing with, give them a time of adversity. Give them a hard time to see who you're dealing with, straight up. And don't fucking be a rat either. Stand tall.
Fact. Getting back up is not how... It's not what you deal with in life, and it's not how many times you fall, because everybody's gonna fall. It's getting the fuck back up. Right. And that's what shows what kind of man you are.
Straight up.
And we'll have, this is episode 6, right? Episode 7 will be soon. We got a dynamite guest. That's gonna be crazy. We got Marty O'Brien.
Big shout out to Marty O'Brien.
That shit's gonna be crazy.
Big shout out to Shannon and everybody who was on this platform before me. Gangster. Big shout out to the W member, B Luke. Y'all already know what's going on.
All them guys have both of us on the podcast. We've been on all of them.
Tap in.
All right, thank you. Peace.
Peace.